This couple live in a house with hundreds of perfect children. But there's a creepy catch. But before we start, please give the video a like and make sure to subscribe to Wonderbot and hit the bell so you'll never miss any uploads from us. The Dressels are an ordinary American family, more or less. Mom Madeline and Dad Malachi got together in 2014, having been in love for most of their lives, and one thing led to another. Now they have a happy marriage, and as many couples do, particularly those under their 30s, their minds turn to children. Inhabitants of a small town of Cross Hill, South Carolina, Malachi and Madeline would look at their friends' Facebook walls admiring their photos, and naturally they wanted to join in. The problem was they didn't have any kids of their own, so the couple got to work on creating their own family. The first addition to the family turned out to be Sandy, a handsome boy, and before long the Dressels soon had added a house full of children, all ready to star in beautiful shot family photos on social media. However, as even the briefest view of their Instagram page shows, there's something more than a bit odd about their brood. Madeline and Malachi spent their childhood together, as their parents were actually friends. Indeed, the midwife who delivered them was the same woman. Malachi's a few months older, and he told Barcroft TV in a July 29 documentary that Madeline had been a nuisance following him around, but later he became a lot happier about having Madeline in his life. Now that Malachi and Madeline are married, they share their obsessions together. Their home is full of vintage items, whether that be appliances, decorations, or chairs. But perhaps their most prized possessions come in the form of their collection of dolls. Yes, the couple's children are entirely made of plastic. Malachi and Madeline collect lots of different dolls, but perhaps the most arresting are those of the size of toddlers. They first found a 1950s doll in a vintage goods store in 2016. And then brought it back to its former glory. From there, the collection has blossomed to the point that they have a whole pack of antique dolls. It's perhaps not surprising that Madeline can't remember a time when she didn't love dolls. However, Malachi certainly didn't grow up playing with dollies. When he was a little one, he would play with manly toys, and indeed he only developed a love for dolls once the couple had set up home. Certainly, Malachi must have gone at collecting the dolls with a will, because now the couple have 30 the size of a small child. They're the type of dolls that were made by the Ideal Toy Company around the turn of the 1960s, called Patty Playpals. The original Patty Playpal was a yard tall, big enough for a kid to dress in its own clothes. Meanwhile, gathering the toys has proved a fun hobby for the couple since 2016. Madeline told UK tabloid The Sun in January 2019, "We enjoy collecting dolls together, and the big ones are our favorites. And it's not just a question of going out and buying them, given the condition that they often find them in. That's because Malachi and Madeline are committed to making the dolls as good as new." The latter explained why they take such care to The Sun. She said, "The quality and artistry of many of these dolls, particularly those by the Ideal Doll Company, is unmatched, and we view them as works of art to be preserved." For their part, the dolls need a lot of care since they're now in their 50s at least. The couple have used up days on meticulous work, costing them thousands of dollars in the process. And it doesn't end with restoration either. Indeed, the dolls wear real kids' clothing from the past, which the Dressels buy from thrift stores. Restoring the dolls can be quite a job too. Given their age, they have to be given an intensive clean. Also, their hair needs washing and resetting. And sometimes the doll's elastic, which holds them together, wears out, so that needs to be fixed too. Unsurprisingly, given the care that they put into the dolls, the couple have given some of them monikers. The first doll that entered their family was Sandy. Alongside him are the likes of Stella Irene and Polly Marie. Furthermore, the youngest addition goes by the slightly more exotic name of Sirocco. For the Dressels, the collection is just an extension of their love of old things. Madeline explained to Barcroft TV, "We're pretty much obsessed with anything vintage, and it's become quite a big thing for the couple." She said, "About 2016 is when we stumbled on the first big doll at the thrift store, and it really grew from there." Meanwhile, the couple shares their love of the dolls equally. Malachi explained to Barcroft TV that he's just as enthusiastic about collecting them as Madeline. Indeed, some of the dolls are particularly special to him. He said, "She has certain ones that are just hers, and then I have ones that are mine." The Dressels love to share their family with others through social media. To that end, they upload photos of their children doing various activities with them on their Instagram page. The account has more than 12,000 followers eager to see the post pictures of the Dressel family enjoying special moments together. For their part, the photos look eerily similar to the kind of pictures that people love to put online of their families, and the Dressels intended for the page to mock those of their friends who share family photos and quiz Malachi and Madeline about why they don't have their own children. In fact, this was the origin of Madeline and Malachi's collection. They began gathering the dolls so they could pose them in a parody of others' Instagram usage. And just like their friends' kids, the plastic children gamble in the yard, enjoy cookery, and sit around the table to take part in elaborately staged tea parties. Madeline told The Sun, "We kept seeing a lot of professionally done outdoor family photographs popping up on our Facebook feeds from various friends and family. And we thought that staging a family photo of our own in a similar style would be both a silly way to get in on the act and also address the age-old question about when we were going to have kids." Furthermore, Madeline explained to the newspaper what had motivated them. She said, "We both thought that it would be cool to pose them in real-life settings as if they were kids as a bit of a joke to start, but it grew from there, and certainly it had ballooned." The Instagram page featured 150 slightly creepy photos in August 2019. Those photos show the dolls enjoying all kinds of family events, ranging from a Christmas celebration to a birthday party, with all the trappings. In one, a plastic youngster is whipping up dough for a batch of muffins, and once they're cooked, she strikes them off a to-do list. In several photos, the kids go on outings in the family car with Daddy, although it's not clear where they're going. In other photos, we see dolls having fun in a playground. Malachi helps one to grab some monkey bars, and others enjoy the slides. And in another, Madeline enjoys a mother-daughter moment on a swing. It's not all outdoors fun either. One picture captures the kids sliding down a stairway, two in a washing basket, one on a cushion, which looks like, as the Dressels themselves noted, a potential disaster. Others show the dolls having a quieter time alongside the family pets, which, at least in the case of the Dressels kitten, seems to have ended in some confusion on the cat's part. Meanwhile, the dolls seem to have struck a note with the Dressels' Instagram following. Most of the comments that they receive are positive. On more than one picture, Instagrammers let the Dressels know how adorable their children are. On another, a commenter simply said, "Awesome, fabulous." Furthermore, some of the photos exceed 1,000 likes. Meanwhile, on Facebook, several commenters shared their enthusiasm for the page. One explained, "I love the enthusiasm and confidence of these two." Another said, "It's delightfully absurd, and it's retro. What more does one want?" Meanwhile, a third user appreciated the doings of the dolls, writing, "Love seeing all the activities they're involved in." Despite the many family shots that the Dressels feature in with the dolls, the couple insists that they aren't really a substitute for real kids. It's just a fun way to express their creativity. They enjoy the whole experience with their plastic offspring, fixing them up and then posing them in the scenes that they photograph. Madeline explained to Barcroft TV that others in the doll world feel differently about their toys. She said, "There are some in the doll community that do think of them as replacements for children. We're not those people." The Dressels joke on the dolls' Facebook page that they're not suitable kids because that's what they have pets for. But the fun doesn't end with the Instagram productions. The couple also feature the dolls on a Christmas card, similar to that some people share with their loved ones every year. In the caption to the rather creepy card, the Dressels wrote, "This is what we sent our unsuspecting friends and family this year." Nevertheless, despite the large positive response to the pictures, there are some naysayers. Madeline explained to The Sun, "When taken out of context, which is easy when something gets shared on the internet, we tend to get inundated with comments from people saying that our pictures are creepy, give them nightmares, or that I must have some desire to have kids." As Madeline noted to the newspaper, these comments are all directed at her. She said, "Interestingly, we've never seen a comment from someone implying the same about Malachi." However, even the detractors can be brought around, as she explained to UK newspaper The Daily Mail. She said, "I think most people actually, when it's explained to them in a little bit of context, they think it's pretty interesting. It's pretty funny." Indeed, Madeline felt that once in on the joke, people loved the concept. She said, "They may not want to meet the actual dolls in person themselves, but they get a kick out of the picture and the idea." And certainly she wasn't going to hide away from it. She continued, "If we're going to be the creepy doll people, we're going to own it." And the Dressels are not the only creepy doll people in their locality either. A couple of their buddies also love collecting dolls in a big way too. Of course, it's not for everyone, as they discovered when they invited Malachi's pal Michael to celebrate Madeline's birthday at a doll tea party. Michael doesn't share the hobby, and in fact he hasn't managed to meet the whole family. Malachi explained to Barcroft TV that his friend hasn't been completely aware of the scope of the collection. The former said he's seen a few of the dolls, he's not seen the quantity of which we have amassed at this point. So when Michael did meet up with the gang, he found it just a bit overwhelming. He explained to Barcroft TV that when he did see them all, he had been just a bit stunned. However, despite the doll's creepiness, he's still positive about the couple's hobby, telling Barcroft TV that he thought it was amazing. As Michael expressed to Barcroft TV, I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. The fact that they're so candid and really don't care what other people think. That's one of the reasons why I love both of them. They're some of the weirdest, most upfront people. Indeed, there's not a hint of embarrassment or shame about this couple. Madeline said to Barcroft TV, "When I get that dreaded question, what do you do for fun? Well, let me show you what I do for fun, and we'll find out if we're going to be friends or not." Still, the Dressels are keen to let people know that they aren't swamped with dolls. As they explained on the Toys Facebook page, you could see a whole bunch of them in a couple or mid-project, but most of the time you won't. That's because they have a room of their own that they pass the time in when they're not featured in photos or videos. Meanwhile, Madeline's doll obsession doesn't end with her plastic children. She has another Instagram page where she features a Barbie in a range of shots. As she travels for work, Barbie comes too. So there are dozens of pictures of the doll all across the United States and the rest of the world. Madeline says Barbie is her motivation to get out of her hotel room. All in all, the Dressels put a fun, albeit creepy, spin on collecting, and they found a great way to express their creativity. Certainly, they don't have to miss out on sharing family photos with their buddies and fans. However, they're not confused about the nature of their children. As Madeline expressed to Barcroft TV, "We prefer our dolls to be dolls." At the end, we want to know your opinion about the story in the comments box below. Wonderful people, can this video get 200 likes?